Thanks for staying on Joe News today. Now let's do some election-related stories. Supreme Court Judge Justice Jones Doche says the voters' register is now credible due to some recent decisions made on it. Now he adds the Electoral Commission should be absolutely independent to ensure credible elections. He made these remarks at the Chief Justice's Forum, which is ongoing in Accra. Now let's get some details from our reporter Raymond Aqua, who is currently at the event. Good afternoon, Raymond. Now, why is the Supreme Court Judge Justice Jones Doche saying the voters' register is now safe and credible? What are his reasons?
He points to recent decisions of the court, especially in the Abu Ramadan 1, 2, and 3 cases, and indicates that there is enough reason from its own implementation of the rules and also following of the directives that the voters' register is now fit for purpose. What he wants done is an electoral commission that would move beyond rhetoric and actually make sure that it is seen as independent and carry out its duties as an independent institution, so that at the end of the day, all parties will accept his decision. And he took on the parties and also said that just like Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo did in the 2012 elections and his petition afterwards, the parties should be in the position to boldly accept the decisions of the Superior Court when it comes to election disputes.
All right, Raymond, so what concerns has the Chief Justice herself, Justice Georgina Theodore Wood, been raising at the forum?
She asked for all groupings to uphold integrity, to say that recent decisions of the court in the Kwesi Mintim case, for instance, points to a direction that the judiciary is willing to dispense of cases, is willing to do justice, protect human rights, and also is willing to do the things that will make sure that every other member or every other party in an election dispute gets speedy trial expeditiously in a way that people will be rest assured that we can't throw not only the current election calendar but a future presidential swearing into jeopardy due to the numerous tussles at the court. So that's one point she's raising. The other point she's also putting across is that beyond the election disputes, there is an urgent need for dialogue among the political parties, so that some issues can even be thrown out before they can get to the court, so that can be dealt with in a way that you don't encumber the space for the judges, and ask that all of this, when they are done properly, the judiciary will regain its integrity due to this recent attacks on its integrity.
Well, we know that some other stakeholders have been at this particular Chief Justice Forum. What have they also been saying with regards to the elections?
For example, Dr. Emmanuel Akweto of the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, believes that there is a groundswell of opinion that is saying that there may be chaos in this year's election. What can be done to actually forestall such an occurrence is first and foremost an agreement, even among the Supreme Court judges, that dialogue is the way forward. And beyond that, merely delivering justice will not end any form of dispute in terms of violence. But when all is fair, when the process is credible, when everybody believes that nobody has an intent to manhandle them, this is how the system will be cleared to do its work. He's hopeful that when the right laws are implemented and there is coordination among the various parties and they agree on what to do, the issues to do with violence will be a thing of the past.
Thank you very much, Raymond Aqua. We'll touch base with you for some details of the Chief Justice Forum underway in our subsequent bulletins. Let's do some other stories now. The Inspector General of Police, John Kudalo, says he would not hesitate to shut down social media on election day. This is despite a clear directive from the President that this should not happen. The announcement by the IGP months ago that social media could be shut on election day generated controversy. But interacting with some Muslim leaders today in Accra, Mr. Kudalo reiterated his point of wanting to shut down social media. Joseph Akabley is there and joins us live on the line. Now, Joseph, I know this is not the first time we've heard him say this. He already met the Catholic bishops and the Christian Council. But what more did he say at this particular meeting with the Muslim clerics?
Well, in fact, that issue came up after some of the participants in this session were asking about the fact that there were such reports in the media space some time back. And the explanation he was given is to the effect that he was during an interaction with media persons that issue came up, and he mentioned that he won't hesitate to do that. But then again, he goes on to add that the president has come out very clear stating that he wouldn't allow for social media to be banned on election day. So the IGP makes the point again that he doesn't have the final say in such issues and that his superiors have the final say. But then again, as a security chief, he can make such recommendations. And in fact, if it were to come back to him now to make such a recommendation, he won't hesitate to make that recommendation at all. So that is the point he has been making here.
Well, did he give some reasons why he'll still, insist that social media be shut? Did he give some reasons that if A and B happen, then he would have to shut down social media on election day?
He talked about the fact that despite the positive side of social media, it still has some negatives, and he talked of the fact that people can perpetuate falsehoods on social media. People can also be, he says, sometimes even on voting day, it could be possible that as early as 2 p.m. when we are still voting, someone could even put on social media that this person has won, and such announcements on social media can encourage people to engage in acts that will mar the entire process. In fact, he again mentioned that they have a plan in place to check all that. They have a media monitoring center that will be monitoring activity on social media to clamp down on persons who engage in such acts. So that is the explanation he has been given.
Now, Joseph, tell us what the response of these Muslim leaders is with regards to this matter.
In fact, the chief imam, His Eminence Umar Usman Charubutu, is present here at this particular engagement. And on his part, he talked about the fact that Islam teaches that Allah created all of us. Despite our diversity, we are still the same beings on this planet. So it was very important for us to live and love each other. He says, as Muslim leaders, they were going to back onto their religious groups in the religious gatherings with a message from the IGP calling on their youth to engage in acts that will benefit society and not to use their energy to engage in violent acts or being used by political agents to mar the entire process. So he says they are committed to peace and will be carrying that message to their youth across the country.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akable, for those updates. Let's still stay on election-related news. The Deputy Minister in charge of Tertiary Education and Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has downplayed the numerous campaign promises made by the opposition New Patriotic Party. According to him, his constituents are already benefiting from the existing projects which the MPP is promising, emphasizing that electorate won't be swayed. He was speaking at the launch of the North Tongue National Democratic Congress Agenda 97% at Aveime in the Volta region.
North Tongue has been one of the strongholds of the NDC in the Volta region. Carved out of the Central Tongue constituency, it gave President Mahama 93% of total votes in the 2012 polls. However, NDC executives in the constituency have increased the target to 97% in the 2016 general elections. This, the incumbent MP, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, believes is feasible considering the numerous developmental projects that have been undertaken by the Mahama-led government in the constituency. Mr. Ablakwa, who downplayed promises by the NPP, indicated those promises are already being implemented in his constituency.
Cannot impress us because in the road sector alone, President Mahama has invested more than $70 million. The Baton-Dover Road has been completed. The Mafai-Dagome Road has been completed. The Joabon-Fojoku Road has been completed. The Podoi-Abutia Road is almost complete. Now we are working on the Joabon-Polo Adidome Road, a 60-kilometer road valued at more than $35 million. So when you say $1 million per district or per constituency, we are not impressed. You are actually telling us to live more and come for little. And we are saying we will not live more and come for little.
Minister of Transport and MP for Ketu South, Fifi Fiavi Kwete, labels the NPP as a party of deceit, adding they are on an agenda of deception in the Volta region. Mr. Kwete also wonders why the NPP is telling people of the Volta region to dump NDC, while NPP strongholds continue to vote for their presidential candidate since 1992. Volta Regional Chairman of the NDC, John Kwejo Japon, stressed that during the president's recent tour of the region, there was a clear manifestation that chiefs and people of the region still support and endorse the candidature of John Dramani Mahama.
I went round, starting from Bando, the chiefs and the people of Bando gave us a promise. They thanked the president for all the things that he's doing and assured us that they will vote for John Dramani Mahama. So in Bando, over John Neiji, then we wanted Nkonya. The chiefs and elders of Nkonya are saying that John Mahama Tiasu. So John Mahama Tiasu. John Mahama Tiasu. John Mahama Tiasu. John Mahama Tiasu. All the chiefs from Bami Krom say John Mahama Tiasu. All the chiefs are saying John Mahama Tiasu.
Omane Boama, Ofosu Kwache, Dan Abodakbi, Jifa Gomashi and Jifa Ativo took turns to address the crowd, urging them to continue supporting the Umbrella Party and vote massively for them on December 7. Fred Kwame Asari's report for Joy News.
Let's still stay in the Volta region, where presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, will from today begin a 5-day campaign tour. Nana Akufo-Addo brought his Ashanti region tour dubbed Restoration of Hope to an end on Saturday and is expected to begin his campaign in the Volta region. Now, the MPP has targeted 30% of popular votes in the region, which is noted to be a stronghold of the incumbent National Democratic Congress. Let's get more from our correspondent, Ivy Setoji, who joins us with the very latest from the area via phone. Now, Ivy, has Nana Akufo-Addo arrived in the region?
Hello?
Hi, Ivy. If you can hear me, has the MPP's flag bearer, Nana Akufo-Addo, arrived in the Volta region?
Yes, he arrived some few minutes ago at 30.
So where exactly is he and which areas is he expected to visit today?
Well, if I can hear you well, he is currently at the palace of Hogby Bokololo, that's North Dine district, and he will be addressing the chiefs and the people of North Dine district shortly before taking on to other areas like Bantu.
Okay, I know he hasn't made a public address yet, but do you have a hint of what his message to the people is today?
Well, according to his communicators, he is going to tell the people or speak with the people to vote for him and the MPP so that they can effect some change in Ghana. He will be asking the people of Volta region to rally behind him and the MPP so that all the projects that they've been asking of, he will be able to facilitate those projects for them.
Thank you very much, Ivy. We'll touch base with you in our subsequent bulletin to give us some more updates on the MPP's presidential candidate, Nana Akufo-Addo's tour of the Volta region. Now, the acting General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Buedu, is asking the president not to make a fuss about the blocking of his achievement by a perceived media cabal, but to do a self-introspection. According to John Buedu, it is not only the media that is not seeing what the NDC government has done, but generally Ghanaians are dissatisfied. John Buedu was speaking at the campaign launch of George Anda, the Wutu Senya West NPP parliamentary candidate. Richard Kodonyako has more.
The New Patriotic Party supporters in the Wutu Senya West constituency converged at Ewutu Bojiase for the campaign launch of the parliamentary candidate for the area, George Nenyi Anda. Addressing party supporters, the acting general secretary of the party, John Buedu, cited several reasons why the president should not be complaining about the blocking of his achievement by a media cabal. To him, there is a huge disconnect between what the president claims to have done and the reality on the ground. The parliamentary candidate of the party, George Anda, bemoaned how people are suffering in the country as a result of the bad leadership style of the president.
They are tired of economic mismanagement, they are tired of incompetence, they are tired of corruption, and they want change. If you come to Ewutu West, of course, jobs for the youth is key. Infrastructure in terms of roads, in terms of medical facilities, in terms of education. Senior Breku are asking for a landing wharf because there's a booming fishing industry there. If you come to the Bourgeoisie area or the Breku area, they are more of a farming community. So they need basic products, basic inputs that would enhance their farming activity. And I guess clearly the policy of Nanado, one farming community, one irrigation project, would benefit Ewutu West.
We take a break on the election-related stories.